And good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is December 2nd, Saturday. We are coming to you live from the WWD TV studios in the heart of Las Vegas. That's right. We are here again to talk wrestling. Not that much happened over the last 7 days. I'm sure we can scrape up a topic or two. But before we get started with all that, allow me to introduce my dearest friends and co-hosts here to my far right. You simply know him as the man who runs the neighborhood, Mr. Matt Mullen. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing very well. Of course, man in the middle, you see him in his Instagram doing Popeye, but nonetheless, he is nothing more and none other love than the Chief.
702-992-3207.
That's all I got to say. There you go. Before we get started with our topics, we do want to send our condolences to the families of two Nevada Highway Patrolmen that lost their lives this past week, Sergeant Michael Abate and Trooper Alberto Felix. Both were killed by a DUI driver this past Thursday. Was it Thursday morning?
Yeah.
Right. Thursday morning, like 3 a.m. They pulled over to what they thought was a motor assist situation. They found a driver behind the wheel who was asleep behind the wheel. Possibly they were inspecting it to that individual, maybe being a DUI issue. We don't know. But as they got out and approached the car, a DUI driver came by, a single individual, and killed the two police officers because the guy was DUI. Two families now have been totally dismantled and destroyed by this incident, as well as the police department, first responders, and I'm sure locally we'll see a lot of things coming out in the news, if it has already been out there, about supporting these families. So with that, we do send our thoughts and condolences to the families, to Nevada Highway Patrol, and everybody out there as well. So anything that Thoughts Can Anywhere can do to help the cause, please reach out to us, thoughtscananywhere.com, through our website. Okay. It's still giving me chills as I finish up that statement with these two poor police officers.
Before we go into it, let me say something.
Yeah.
Folks, we're getting ready to go into the holiday season. We've already started with Thanksgiving. You all know my story. I'm going to keep it short. Alcohol used improperly kills. If you're going to drink, call somebody. Get a ride. Don't be stupid, because the chief says so.
There you go. Love it. Simple message, and that's the way it should be. All right. With that, though, we got a lot going on. So before we begin with anything, it is now time for
Story Time with Matt.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen, the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
Mr. Rogers had to get a little angry this week.
Get out of my neighborhood!
I was walking around. I had to kick somebody out of my neighborhood.
Uh-oh.
There was this crazy guy was in front of Heart Attack Grill while I was working outside, and he was just pounding on the window. So like everybody calls me and was like, "Hey, there's this guy out here. He's huge. We're scared." I run over there, and there's like this big, tall black guy who's like always causing problems, but he's like 6'6", so like everybody's scared of him.
Okay.
I go around the corner. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm just making beats." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here. I'm not in the mood for this." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "I don't care how big you are. I'll knock you out. I promise."
Making beats?
On the window.
Did you do that in the kitchen?
Smart.
We make beats in the kitchen? Oh, sorry.
But he was with this other woman, and she's just screaming out all this racist stuff, which is making it's making everybody turn around. Everyone's like, is she serious? And I was like, "Welcome to security. Welcome to the life of security in Fremont Street."
Jeez.
All day.
You know what? I want to propose to those, history channels and all that. You guys do real shows, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you need to follow Matt for one day, please. I implore you, A&E and all these channels that do these reality shows. You really need to hire Matt and follow him around during his time on Fremont Street and the Heart Attack Grill, because guys, you'll have material for what? At least 3 seasons?
Oh, yeah.
For one day, right?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So as she's screaming like all this racist stuff, there's like 50 people watching us, and I was like, just leave. She goes, I'm gonna come back and kill you.
Great.
And I was like, you can't even afford a bullet. What are you gonna do? And she's like, I'm gonna come back and pepper spray you. And I pulled out my pepper spray, and I was like, I can handle that right now. Get out of here. And the other guy just got out of jail, and I looked at him and I was like, do you really want to go back already? And he was like, what? And I grabbed my radio and I was like, I need 2 officers to Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont. And he was like, you're really calling on me? And I was like, yeah, you're going away. Bye. He grabbed her and literally ran in the middle of traffic to get away.
God.
So they were escorted out of my neighborhood.
There you go.
And that's my story time.
So it's either alcohol, cheap drugs, or stupidity.
Could they mute? Could they
Or a
just?
nasty combination of all 3.
I was going to say, could the light bulb be a little dim up there too, just in general?
You know,
And I'm saying it not making light of any mental illness, but sometimes it, when
I can. No.
things.
you know, sometimes some of us have a tendency to have what's called stinky thinking. And I'm not going to say a lot of people down where you work have stinky thinking,
They just stink.
but I think some of them, I think there's more of a mental problem than what we're aware of.
Oh, for sure. I see it
And-
every day.
And
Yeah.
that's a sad part.
Oh, absolutely. No question. It's a great point.
Crazy. You get them like out like somewhere to like get help, and they're literally there like 2 days later.
Well, that's
Like,
why I look at him sometimes and I'm out in left field. It's like blank.
Oh,
That was pretty good, huh?
all right. Let's get into some rumors.
All right, rumors.
they'll-
Ding, ding, ding.
Those, you forgot the bell.
No, I
Didn't we
did.
hear about the bell
Yeah,
last
we
week?
talked.
Is
about
it in the car?
No,
Okay, so you forgot it.
the
son.
bell's in the closet because I got 2 more autographs.
Oh, okay. The rumors that we're going to start with are going to pretty much segue into what will more than likely be some time. We're going to talk about a little event that happened.
We're
at
going
the
to
end of
talk
Survivor
about
Series.
CM Punk
All right. So
from
sources.
Chicago.
Rumor number 1:
ahead.
sources in WWE are optimistic about a WrestleMania dream match, and I use those words carefully. I'm reading it.
No, go.
CM Punk
I
versus
like it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Do you think it could happen? And if not, who do you see Punk facing at WrestleMania 40? Gentlemen, I'll open it up to you. Folks watching, put your messages in the chat room. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, if you want to go over to YouTube in order to watch us live, you got to hit the live button on the top of the YouTube page to catch us live. Just thought I'd mention that.
And later too.
And later, too, after the show, you got live. Anyway,
Don't quit hitting
I
your
know.
microphone.
Because he turned it on me and he's taking me out of my.
I did it too. I was like, pop. I was like, oh, oops.
John, I turned the light off yesterday to help John. He yelled at me.
Good.
Don't touch my light.
Is
All he did was like turn the
is
power off.
Keep it up. I'll put wires all over the floor.
is Austin is
Going off the rails again.
Is Austin healthy enough
Ooh!
to where he could have a match?
Austin.
Steve Austin.
Yeah. He almost had one at 39.
I mean, he's healthy where he could go.
Yeah, he said he can
With
do
his
one more
knees and
match.
I'm okay with Austin. I like Austin. As you said, take my money. I don't, I'm okay with it. But as I said earlier in the show, I've heard Roman and Punk. I've heard Cody and Punk. I heard possibly Seth and Punk. And I'm going to put the comment that I said to you before the show. I think that with Mr. Punk being gone for 10 years, I think there's some wrestlers in the WWE that deserve their shot before Punk. Even though we know Punk can put butts in seats, as Scott likes to say, and make money, I still think there's people in the WWE that deserve the shot before Punk.
There's people that definitely deserve it more than Punk, but Punk is also a bigger name than 90% of anybody in the business, and the numbers show it. unfortunately.
I think his comeback was 71 million views
The views between all
90
social media. It's the most social
or 90
video
million.
post in WWE history.
I won't disagree with you there on the name, but I think if it goes, you gotta give our Intercontinental Champion a shot at the belt. You gotta give Solo a shot at the belt.
You do,
Before-
but they're like the
be-
two youngest guys on the roster. They're gonna have their moments.
But they've worked their asses off.
True, but CM Punk's also up there in age. As you've seen in AEW, his body's fragile.
Why
So
would-
we don't even know how long this is going to last.
Why would
He's
So
they?
they're
signed-
going to
he
have to
signed 2
strike
years,
while the
right?
iron's
Is
hot.
this contract 2 years?
I don't
I
think.
think so.
Why would they? If okay, why would they want him to come back and face Austin? Why not come back and face one of the younger guys?
Historian puts in there.
I'm just
No,
throwing.
but along that, Thomas says, does Austin put Punk over if that match happens? Does Punk really need to be put over, first of all?
No.
So
No.
listen, I guess, good morning, Ronald. I guess every wrestler on any level, it's okay to always be put over by someone ahead of them on the food chain, right?
Yeah.
However, if I saw this match happening, if it gets on the card for 40, if let's say this one of all the other possibilities for Punk, I'm going to go into this very worried because the last time that Austin was in the ring, even though there was a quick little spot, I don't know if you guys saw it, I felt he wasn't moving very well. You know, you can do the stunner and the kick one time, right? You can catch the beers and do all that. I don't know. And God, I love Austin. Please don't get me wrong as I say this, guys and gals. I would love to see him wrestle again. I just don't know if I want to see him go against Punk, who hasn't been in the WWE at least for 10 years.
Yeah.
How much did he really wrestle in AEW once he got there? Yeah, he wrestled and he got hurt. How much over the last couple of years has he really wrestled because of injury, then being sent home because of the kerfuffle that they had backstage, right? Kerfuffle. That's still only 3. I tried to. I firstly tried to come up with one. I don't know if I'd be as excited about it. Now, do I want to see Punk at 40? Sure. But in an appropriate match. I don't even want to see him against Gunther.
Can I throw him?
I
Personally-
think we're going to see him versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight
And I
title.
buy that more because of what everybody saw after they went off the air with Rollins' reaction.
with Punk and Austin? Can I throw a match out there?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Punk and Undertaker.
Undertaker
won't do it.
Yeah, he's finished. Didn't they wrestle back in the day
I
together?
don't believe
Yeah,
so.
29.
Did they?
Okay.
Okay.
Brunette says Solo has to first break away from Roman before he gets his single shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't disagree
I
with
think
that.
that's a great
I
point.
don't disagree with that.
I think it's great.
That they could do that this week on SmackDown, and then they got 6 weeks where they can build.
Yeah,
him
because
up
Roman's
get
due
a
to come
shot.
back this
Yeah.
week, I believe,
Yeah.
on camera.
It's going to be
know-
Roman versus Randy at Royal Rumble for sure.
Especially if they want to put Randy into a position, if they want to give him one more title run.
He's got what, 14? 14
Yeah, I think
championships.
so. I think so. Not that he's in it.
And Randy's what, 50? 51?
I don't know if he's. I don't know. I
gotta
don't know
look-
if he
I
said
gotta
50
look
or
that
not,
up.
but
I gotta
we'll look that up.
I'm looking that up.
Look, I got to be honest. I mean, we all sat here last week, talked about I even had a black T-shirt on that said Chicago. We were all talking about the possibility of what would happen
He's
with Punk.
43.
Um,
I stand corrected.
and at 43, but he looked great. He looked tremendous. And we all talked about there's going to be some angle with Orton, right? We said that last week, right? And the delay coming out and everything. So we had his moment. You don't want him coming out in the initial introduction, but that kind of back surgery laid him up for a year and a half.
Yeah.
He came right out. The RKO off the top of the freaking cage was nuts.
Hey, did you see the one he put on Nick Aldis's ass last night?
I heard about
that
that.
was
I've seen the
awesome,
tape.
man.
So how,
Freaking come out of nowhere.
so does his wife and all the doctors who worked on his back go, no, do they hold their breath every time he does an RKO now? Because they saying that's what attributed to his background. My point is that if they want to give him some runs to either tie Rick with 2 more title, championships, I believe this is going to be his last run because physically, after this back surgery, if he can't perform 100%, which he did I was so happy with what happened. I thought one of the coolest moments were the 5 rope DDTs. All 5 of them had them. I thought that, and the over the view camera shot was awesome.
It was like he never missed a step, honestly.
Oh, he was, and I think all of us were holding our, at least I did towards the end, when everybody's getting their accolades that he wasn't going to RKO somebody on his
I thought he was
team.
going for Jay for sure.
Yeah, but it didn't happen, and he walked out, and I think everybody went home happy. And then Punk comes out, and then the viral video of Seth, welcoming him back in his own dominant way. Right, exactly.
Did you see the video of like Randy as he was actually like leaving Survivor Series, and he was like, "I got 10 years in me."
I did not see that. He went to his wife as he left the cage.
Yeah.
That I saw, and then the camera sort of moved back to Rollins.
He was like right by the entranceway, like where they come out, and he was
Gotcha.
like, "I got 10 years."
Oh, so I didn't see
Yelled at
that.
me for 10 more years.
All right, well,
You
great.
take notice to how big Randy looks.
Oh, he looks sensational.
Do you know who Randy's been working out with at the Performance Center?
Double K. That's right,
there.
Double K.
Right there.
Well, listen, it brought
He's healthy.
it brought a lot of
He's
great
healthy.
happiness to a lot of people when he came out the way that he did, and I respect the fact that they didn't have him come out with the team to give him his moment on that individual entrance, which we all knew was coming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, once we saw him not out there, I think it was inevitable. I thought it was a great moment, but then I think now what it does is you could put all of these names in the hat with Punk on over here and all these other names over here, put them in a hat.
No matter who it is.
Exactly. I don't want to see him against Roman right away. Maybe the IC, which then Gunther loses the IC belt, which then propels him up into the main title, and let Punk carry that for a little bit to get his footing. But I realistically, if I had a vote, I would say it's got to be Seth and Punk going into WrestleMania.
I got 2 things. One, I would have much rather seen Punk come back Monday at Raw and really get his just due pop.
Dude, you got a bigger pop than what he got in Chicago?
With 50,000
You
boys.
couldn't even hear his music.
I just think for him, he deserved his own moment. Okay, Randy coming out, the guys winning the cage match.
Of course, R-Truth returning.
Oh, my man.
Sorry.
No, I love R-Truth, man. He ain't got
great.
nothing to be sorry about.
I was happy.
Did you see him eating the things the
Yeah,
other night? That was great. See,
Truth was being true.
that's good stuff.
Right.
That's good stuff.
I didn't mean to take you off your point about Punk.
But here's the other thing. I think that Punk is going to get a match. Okay. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's what I see. But I say this, if Punk's going to get a match, Randy's got to get a match. They both got to. Okay. Because
All right.
Randy's only been going 18 months.
We got to step aside for a break, but before we do that, I'm gonna mention the last rumor bullet point just
Go
for
ahead.
everybody to kind of stew on, and we can address it if we need to. In Punk's contract, there is supposedly a behavior clause in his contract. So we'll see. We'll talk about that maybe for a minute or two when we come back on the break. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is is it CM Punk or is it not CM Punk edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere? We'll be
It's
right back.
Randy Orton. How unique.
It's gorgeous.
You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery. I've got to have it.
So colorful.
I can't live without it. You'll find the art that speaks to your heart at Desert Valley Gallery.
Thoughts Count Anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, aka Marty the Moth, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Seth Foxy. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Navari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the Essential Character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. We are hot and talking about Survivor Series. We got Punk, Orton, and anything else you want to talk about. I left off. Go ahead.
You know, before we get to this, I do have my second thought that I just got. It just came back to
You only
me.
have 4 a day. You might want to spread these out a little bit.
It sounds, you know, when Punk went to AEW, he had a very nice speech there. And when he came back to WWE, it kind of sounded like it was the same damn speech over again. You know, glad to be there. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. You know, it sounded like they were both the same.
There was something I read in some of the words that he used or did not use that a lot of people were expecting, that it was insinuated in this article that there is actually a because of it, not non-compete, non-disclosure, maybe was what they said, NDA, that they couldn't say anything about AEW or about his time there. So everything had to be. So I think a lot of people were expecting him to dump about AEW.
You mean do a pipe bomb?
Something, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I kind of wanted to see that, but I know we can't talk about AEW. But if he ends up going against Seth, and Seth doesn't say something to the fact of, I want to wrestle you with the, was it one of 4 night, buy one, get one free extravaganzas, whatever he was talking crap about WrestleMania and AEW. If Seth doesn't bring like half of that stuff up,
and I'm
gonna be so mad.
He's the one that
he'll do it too.
He could do that.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I want to remind everybody, Desert Valley Gallery, which you just saw the commercial, between now and the end of the calendar year, they're up in Tivoli Village on the Valet Circle. Go in there. Your first $150 purchase or more gets you an entry into 2 tickets to their monthly cabaret show for any month in the 2024 calendar. If you mention Thoughts Count Anywhere, WWDB TV, Aaron Zauer, or Aaron Phillips, or even for that matter, the Round Table, and you can get entered in there. So go in, stop in, $150 purchase, you get an opportunity for 2 tickets that has an $80 value to catch their monthly cabaret.
I'll just read this real quick before you segue into that. It says here, however, specifically stated that some people within WWE were told by higher-ups that Punk has a behavioral clause associated with his contract.
Okay. So through the rumor mill within the sheets there, that some people are confirming that is the case.
That's why he
So
was
I read
on
the same
his,
thing. That's why it's on the.
That's why he was on his best behavior.
Gotcha. So it is. So look, we all know that sometimes behavior clauses get broken, even if it's accidental.
So what, what do we consider a behavioral clause? What could be in it?
Don't be a
You're not going to act like you were in AEW.
No backstage altercations, use proper channels if you have a comment or a question, maybe.
How much did AEW drop the fucking ball, though?
Here's the thing, though. I think with some of the guys in the WWE right now, if you were to open up, and I don't know what was said backstage, but say there were some contentious 10, 10 inches. Damn it.
Still
That's
three.
only 3.
You got listen. You got 5 the other night. I
Yeah,
think
that was
you're
pretty
good.
good.
You're good.
So anyway, I think if he was to open up improperly backstage, I think there are some people back there that could put him in his place.
You don't got a bunch of like non-experienced kids to mess with anymore.
Right.
He's back in the big boy playground.
Yeah, the locker room leadership is very different than AEW, and even when he left 10 years ago. Now, you know, The Undertaker is still going to have a lot of influence with people there, whether he's physically there or not. I'm sure that if he even thinks of getting out of line, Triple H may make a phone call and say, listen, Mark, I got somebody I need you to talk to, you know?
I wish there was a camera on Tony Khan during Survivor Series.
Could you?
Because he realistically picked Jack Perry over CM Punk.
Yeah.
The one needle mover he actually had.
Yeah, great point.
Even Adam Copeland debuted in AEW and the ratings went down.
Could you imagine if he's said something wrong to Bronson Reed?
Oh, we'll knock him out.
Reed would throw his ass out of the ring.
He might throw him out of the arena, let alone the ring.
I'm just saying.
You know, it's
so. You know what? Bottom line, I don't like Punk. I've let it be known, but I'll tell you what, he's back there. I hope he does well. I hope he draws ratings for WWE. I would even say this. I would hope to see maybe you see him at the house show here on the 29th.
I think we're gonna get
unannounced.
I think we're gonna end up getting Orton because he's on SmackDown.
Yeah. You might see somebody else there too. But what do I know?
Name names.
That's right. Oh, don't cross me up.
That's it. You might
such a killer.
You might see Solo there too.
That's right.
And he's advertised.
And you
That's
might
good. That's
and you
good
might
opportunity.
see some female there too.
Tony Khan, Brunette says Tony Khan lets the inmates run the asylum. I think we've all. I wonder how many AEW diehards now will come back to WWE now that Punk's moved.
Oh, you know how much they're crying now? I hate the internet wrestling community.
Ronald Young puts in there perhaps a match between Cross and Punk. Now that I would see.
Take my money for Cross and Orton.
I'd pick him up from the airport to get it to the arena.
Cross, take my money for Cross and Orton.
There you
that
go.
would be a hell of a match.
Yeah, that I would love to see. All right, let's move on a little bit. I'm sure we're going to keep talking about it in between.
Where are we at?
You want to go over? We might as well go over the Survivor Series.
Boy,
quick
did I
events and
do
comments.
bad, man. I went 2-3. The man
5-0.
went 5-0.
I went 4-1. I was right on you.
I went 2-3.
Yep, it was.
But
it
that's
was
all
good.
right. Hey.
Even some of the side comments, like when Priest almost tried cashing in right before Orton came out, man.
I was watching. I was like, I told you.
I capitalized.
But does he still have the case?
Yes.
He didn't cash it in. Okay.
No,
No,
Game-
right when
Game-
she was like handing it to the referee, Orton's music hit like
Right.
immediately.
Okay.
So I stopped that. All right. Let's talk about real quickly if there's any comments. Team Bianca defeated Damage Control in their War Games match.
Nah, we knew that was going to
yeah.
happen.
Moment between Becky and Charlotte. We were talking about it during break. Thoughts on that? I mean, was there any shock that they worked well together? Or
No,
did you
they've always had
expect?
like chemistry since like day one.
Okay.
It's a KFAB.
Okay. Now Bailey's on her own right now. It seems like she's on an island by herself. If you watch this past
Yeah,
week,
she
too.
ran out there and tried to help Kairi Sane last night,
Right.
and it backfired. And I
What's the next pay-per-view? Is it not till
Royal
January?
Rumble.
the
January,
Rumble.
right? So what happens for Bailey between now and then? And I asked that rhetorically.
She's probably going to get her ass beat.
Yeah, I think it's obviously, and I agree with you because she does not fit the mold with the 5 individuals that are there with Damage Control.
Yeah.
So I think at some point we see her excommunicated. Does she do this woe is me approach to trying to go back out on her own, or does she go after individually Damage Control?
I could see her being like, I'm gonna destroy the thing I created.
Does she become a face again?
I think she almost has to in a way, in her actions at least, but I can also see her walking that gray line a lot.
Because I'm just thinking if she goes face, maybe she goes with Bianca and them against Damage Control. Okay. But on the flip side, what's her name is still injured, isn't
Dakota
she?
Kai.
And she's not cleared to wrestle yet.
This
So
is a
that
couple months.
so that only leaves the three other girls. So maybe Bailey stays there until
Isn't there 4 plus Bailey is 5 that's active in the ring?
no, just 4.
Is it 4? I thought there was
No,
5.
Kyrie, Oscar, Io,
And Bailey.
Bailey, and yeah, Bailey was the other one.
Bailey was the 4th.
Okay, I don't know why I thought I for some reason I remember seeing 5 in the ring, and then Dakota comes out off the side in the kendo stick. In
You're
the fence.
getting
There are
old.
4 lights.
You're getting
After
you're getting older.
I know.
after CM Punk coming back, you never know who might come back now. So if Bailey actually needs help against damage control, what if Sasha Banks comes back?
What if
And
AJ
helps
Lee comes
Bailey.
back?
True
AJ, I mean,
that.
he mentioned AJ in the comments on Monday,
I would think
but I like that one better.
I would think with AJ, what really, what the hell kind of contract does she have with WW?
She has none. They'd have to sign her. But then is she still with with WoW?
Yeah,
No,
that's,
she's not-
she left.
yeah,
Oh, she
WW.
left.
She was a producer. She left like early in the year.
Did she?
Oh,
Okay.
did she? I thought she was
We
still
covered
there.
it in an episode.
Ronald says Thomas Burnett had the worst record at 2-3.
Oh.
Burnett says Kyrie losing last night wasn't on Bailey, so I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
I think it was.
And the press conference, Ronald says, and I watched the press conference. Becky and Charlotte hinted at possibly teaming up for the tag, going after the tag titles for the. I'd
It'd be
okay
a
with
funny
that.
moment if they do like the first press conference with CM Punk and he tries to go off the handles just to see like what Triple H would do.
And then,
They do like
Triple
a,
H and CM Punk.
They should do like a thing just to like rip on Tony Khan, just to be like, I'm gonna do the Triple H, but shut up and get out.
Why not? Cody Rhodes did at the press conference. You know, when he stepped up, he grabbed glasses, he grabbed paper, and started reporting numbers like he was still the EVP.
What if they bring what's her name back? That has the adult site.
Mandy Rose.
Mandy
Yeah,
Rose?
Mandy. What about Mandy? They bring Mandy back.
I'd
Or
be okay with that.
Peyton Royce. You know,
I'd be okay with Mandy.
there's some girls out there.
How about Sonya
Oh,
Deville?
well,
She's
wait a
healing.
minute.
She's
Wait a minute.
healing.
Let
right?
me rephrase.
There's some hubcaps?
There are some women out there who I think that should be brought back into the wrestling business. Okay, and I think if you can, and I say this, and I'm going to, if you can bring Punk back to the WWE with his dirty laundry,
You can bring back anybody.
you should be able to bring Tessa Blanchard back into the wrestling world.
Facts.
I'd be okay with that for sure. All right. Gunther defeated Miz. Hard fought battle. I think a lot better than a lot of people expected. I kind of had my hopes towards the end that Miz was going to get it. That's how good the match was.
Yeah.
Gunther, though, in the press conference stood tall. You know, he just stayed in character and, he belongs there, but not in my ring, So I thought it was a good match.
It was a really good match. I thought the Miz was gonna take it for like a minute.
Yeah.
Could Miz come back and actually possibly get another shot at Gunther
Why not?
and win
Yeah.
the belt?
Sure. He was trying to on Raw already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Santos Escobar defeated Dragon Lee. This was my only dip in the show that I really wasn't invested in anything for me. And it wasn't a long match, right? It was only about 5-6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes. It seemed like it went by quick.
A shorty, huh?
Yeah.
A filler match.
A filler match.
I
That was the bathroom break match. Rhea Ripley retained. No surprise there, really. Of course, Team Cody won, defeating Drew McIntyre and Judgment Day. Anything in that match that stood out that you want to mention?
The
Talk about?
RKO off the
Oh,
cage. That was nuts.
Jeez, that was
Poor JD McDonough.
You know, I have to say, I got to say, McDonough is a good wrestler performer in the ring. He's honed his craft very well,
Mhm.
and I hope he eventually gets his push. I
Well,
really
he's,
do.
he's certainly on the right coattails in the faction to start that trend.
Yes.
Along with not only the RKO, which was crazy. I mentioned it during the break, the 5 DDTs off the middle rope.
Yep.
And then I want to go back to the women's match for a moment. Charlotte coming off the top of the cage doing her moonsault.
15 foot.
let me tell you, she got very lucky that she didn't hurt her ankle, break a leg or knee because she overshot it by a shitload. Thank goodness it looked good until she made the landing. Kept going up there all the way down. But, listen, it looked great. It was good for the moment. But
what the hell?
JD is impinging on Roderick Strong's gimmick, he
What's
says.
infringing mean?
Stepping on, like stepping into. And then I like the fact that Randy told Cody to get the pin for the win, which I thought was a good moment as well.
Talking about Randy. She's on a roll, man. It just came to me.
Hello, is this
I
working?
was so happy when Randy come out Monday night. Okay. He didn't fist bump any adults. He fist bumped all the children. But when he got just about ready to go up to the ring, there was a young man there with a figure, had his pen. Randy came over to him, leaned over, asked him his name, put his name, signed the figure, gave it back to the young man.
Right on.
That's freaking class.
Absolutely.
You know what really annoyed me about that?
That's class.
He didn't do that
He
for
didn't
you?
have to pay for it.
No, I don't even care about that. You see how messed up the figure was? I was like, kid. The whole back of it was like coming off. I was like, kid, take care of your shit.
He was so excited.
Absolutely.
That was a cool ass
I'm
moment.
sure they got him another one though.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was a great moment.
Yeah,
All right.
that was really cool.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Kid got Cody too.
How would you got? So I was thinking of you throughout the card because we spent a lot of time last week talking about the number of matches that were actually on this card. Okay.
Did anybody actually care there was 5 matches?
No, because I think the timing, obviously the 2 war games we knew was going to take up the bulk of the time, right?
Sure.
The filler was Dragon Lee and Escobar.
Sure.
The other 2 matches were tremendous when you have Ripley retaining and then, of course, Gunther and The Miz. Okay. So here, as the night was progressing, I kept thinking of you, of the conversation about needing more matches.
Right.
Do you think for that show, did it really need more matches, or were you at the end still okay with the 5 matches that we saw filling in the pay-per-view? I'm just curious.
Do you want my honest
Yes,
answer?
that's why I'm asking.
I can't answer you because I didn't watch it.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I thought it was fine. Maybe one more match could have been in there, but after the way I saw the Escobar match with Dragon Lee, I'm like, that was the one match, like I said, for me at least, that was that transitional match into the rest of the card. I don't know if it had room for anybody. I was satisfied. I thought on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the thing an 8.5, maybe for me.
It was a good show. Plus, most pay-per-views, you don't even remember the matches. You remember the moments.
Right.
And Randy Orton and CM Punk coming back were 2 of the biggest moments of all of 2023.
R-Truth would be number 3, by the way, for me. So
with CM Punk coming back, that was the most social moment in WWE history. That video has gotten 71 million views across social media.
That's crazy.
So whether you hate him, love him, or whatnot, the guy moves numbers like nobody else.
I don't hate him. I just dislike him. That's all. I as a professional wrestler, all right, I think he's gotten too many all shits in his career, more so than other wrestlers.
What do you mean, oh shit?
Take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, because I'm not sure what you mean by you talking about opportunities.
Yes.
Okay. Steve
Yes.
Howe got 8 in baseball.
This ain't baseball.
No, I know.
This
I
ain't
know.
baseball. This
I
is
know,
wrestling.
I know. Well, look, would it be safe to say perhaps he signed a 2-year contract, that this is like almost like a pseudo audition for him for 2 years to either stick around with WWE and keep going a little longer, or is this his final run in wrestling?
Here's what bothers me. And I forget if it was on Raw. I think it was on Raw. He at the end of his speech, you heard him say, "I'm here to make money." Okay. When a wrestler says that, which probably they all think it, okay, no doubt in my mind, but if the fans aren't there, they ain't gonna make money. So you gotta have, in my mind, you have to have the goodness of the fans come first before you're going to make the money.
I'm so glad you said that, because that was an exact topic that I heard this week on our 12 millionth favorite show,
Okay.
where in that same promo,
And I didn't hear the show.
in the same promo, he sort of contradicted himself, because at the beginning, he talked about it's great being home and the fans and everything is, and then he comes up with the line like you just talked about, but I'm in it for the money. Huge contradiction in line. I mean, to me, that's a disconnect in the promo for me.
I heard that like the whole "I'm here to not make friends, make money" thing was like a thing at Seth, because like I heard the whole Seth thing was like storyline related. He wasn't like actually that fucking furious about it.
So what about the
Seth?
Yeah.
But what about all the online back and forth after Punk signed with AEW? Seth went out and talked some crap.
He's been talking crap for years, but like there was an interview like he would talk crap, and they did like another interview and was like, if he actually did come back, I would work with him because there'd be money to be made.
Okay, well, that's fair.
See, the only thing I would love to see happen now is Moxley come back to the WWE, and then you get Roman, Moxley, and Seth together, and they beat the shit out of Punk. That would, man, I would be on seventh heaven if that happened.
All right, then it'll
And
reincarnate
with
the
that
Nexus
note,
group.
I'll make a call.
Oh yeah,
and with
please
that
do.
note,
We're gonna go to
Otherwise,
break.
you'd be like, I was waiting for the 4 Horsemen to come back.
well, that could happen too.
All right, well, yeah, Flair's back. He may want to. He also had some controversy this week as well.
You got to watch Flair. Last night on the AEW, you got to watch Flair. That damn suit he's got, the pants, he's always fucking pulling them up, man.
Oh, absolutely. That's because when you're starting a profiler now, they're sagging.
They're sliding down, boy.
All right, we're going to take our final break of the show. We got a lot to talk about still and only have about 15 minutes left to do it. Give us a call, 702-992-3207. Your thoughts on anything pro wrestling. We'll be right back. Most business owners struggle with the following issue. How do I brand my business to get noticed? Double 8 Design Studio helps businesses by designing brands that boost confidence, look and feel timeless, stand out from the competition, and attract all the right clients. Whether you are in need of a new brand, upgraded design elements, or completely redesign your current brand, Double 8 Design Studio has fully customized packages for your business. Call Chelsea McKendrick at 702-525-3334 and visit www.double8designstudio.com. Let Double 8 Design Studio give you a brand new outlook for your business.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Well, hello, good people of planet Earth. Is this thing on? Hello. I can't see you out there in TV land, so I'm going to rely upon the honesty of the internet that I know you're on the other side of this mirror. And me, your warlord of weird Sin Bodhi, is hoping that if you want to stumble upon the greatest form of internet entertainment of all time, even though the internet's only been around for about 23 minutes, I would like you to watch www.tbtv.com. It is amazing. It is awesome. They'll teach you the meaning of life. They'll teach you all sorts of cool stuff, how to turn peanut butter into jelly, and so many other things. And if you're going to watch, do it with styles. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Is this thing on?
Oh my God!
We're back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
What's
Man, it's been a
Oh, there
great
it is.
topical show so far. What's that?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're
Wait,
good.
isn't that something you put on like a
Yeah, cream.
lotion or something?
It's a cream.
Topical?
Yeah. If you have a rash, it's a topical cream.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back. We got about
CBD.
12, 13 minutes left of the show. We got a lot to go on. So, gentlemen, let's go around the horn. Matt, you pick some topics and let's chew the fat on them, or comments or announcements, whatever you want to do.
As much as I joke around like her being my wrestling girlfriend, Alexa Bliss gave birth to her baby girl Hendrix. Congratulations to her and Ryan Cabrera. And also Tay Mello and gave birth to their child with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
And Matt Riddle's girlfriend also gave birth this week to their child.
Wow, it was a busy
So
9 months ago.
congratulations to everybody.
It was a busy 9 months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On a side note, though, unfortunately, Sunny got 17 years prison time for that last kerfuffle. That's my word of the day.
Kerfuffle.
That she had a few about within the last year. As a sad note, as she continues to spiral since leaving. Go ahead, your turn. Pick a few.
Report says Bray Wyatt will be
Mhm.
inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame at WrestleMania 40. I think if they don't do that,
They gotta.
thank you. Let's see what else.
And it would be the right move anyway.
Absolutely. QT Marshall put his resignation in with AEW, not only as a wrestler and a trainer, he was also the VP of Talent Relations. So I wonder, I guess there's some backstage stuff possibly going, you know.
There's support by some wrestlers in WWE. I think Cody was one of them, campaigning for WWE to look at bringing QT in. Who knows?
Okay.
Could happen.
No.
Dixie Carter was
Dixie
backstage
was
at
there.
Raw.
Yeah.
Mean anything, or just he was back there?
No, I
saying
think
hello
she
to
was just
people?
visiting and
God, I hope not.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Go ahead, pick a couple more. What you
I
got,
was wondering where Serena Deeb's been in AEW, and she released a statement on social media
Matt?
saying that she last couple months since like October, she had like a couple unprovoked seizures. So she's been going to a neurologist and stuff, trying to figure out why, and she finally got cleared recently. So she should be back in the ring soon.
She's good.
Yeah.
She's good. Good trainer too.
Absolutely.
Main one, MJF's trying to avoid surgery for a torn labrum, as it would leave him out of action for at least 7 months. He's trying stem
It
cells.
says 2 months.
2 months? Oh, sorry. Let me put my
Put your
glasses
readers.
on. 2 months.
I was like, what did I swear to God I wrote two?
He's trying, and I say you're old, man. There we go. He's trying stem cells among other treatments. You know,
Have you guys suffered a torn labrum at all?
No, I know you have.
Let me tell you, if he somehow, I don't know how
2
stem cells
months?
would.
Seriously.
I had, first of all, my arm was in a sling. Originally, they said 6 weeks. They then switched it to 12. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I had ligament repair as well to support the labrum. I was out of action for 14 weeks from working out.
Man.
I tried joining my gym one day when they were doing a 1 mile run for time.
So that's 4 months.
Let me tell you, try jogging, with one arm like this. A couple of times was going like this, and this thing was going,
Nope.
no, it can't take the pounding.
Yeah.
So unless he's going to get
That's what
stem
she
cells
says.
and some really good pain support, the shots that they can get, cortisone or whatever, I don't see how he's going to last long without it getting repaired. I'm sorry. But then again, I'm not an athlete like he is, so maybe his body can repair faster.
When's Boom due back? How much longer?
Adam Cole?
Yeah. Couple months.
He's like good,
I-
like 5-6 months away. He
So-
can't even he said he can't even walk, let alone wrestle.
So I was thinking, well, maybe MJF could give Adam the heavyweight belt and he could defend it until MJF gets back. But that ain't going to work if he's out. Maybe instead of losing the belt to Joe, he just gives the belt to Joe and lets Joe defend it until he gets back from his labrum stuff.
I hate interim champs.
There's been like all this talk of like him.
No, it's not an interim champ though.
Well, what do you want to call it?
Well, they're going to have the match. Punk.
MJ.
See, you guys got me with fucking Punk on the mind.
He's like, I don't want to talk about Punk, and he brings him up every like 30 seconds.
MJF and Samoa are going to have a match for the belt.
I understood.
Well, I almost said Punk again. Joe is protecting MJF.
Right.
All right. Till their match comes about.
Mm-hmm.
Why not at the pay-per-view? MJF just says to Joe, I'm giving you the championship. I can't wrestle you. I'm injured. The doctors won't clear me. Somebody comes out, steps in, has a match with Joe. Joe keeps the belt. Unannounced, nothing said until MJF comes back. Joe defends it. MJF wins. 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 MJF w Then MJF comes in and says, I want my belt back.
And then you'll start a feud between MJF and Samoa Joe.
Exactly.
What if
I'm just
MJF
saying-
actually didn't re-sign with AEW and he loses the belt in like a squash match at
Because of his shoulder.
World's End, and then he gets it fixed in time for the Royal Rumble?
I don't think there'll be enough time for it to get fixed between.
No,
now
it'd only
and
be
Royal
like a
Rumble.
month, but
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, he could show up at Royal
Yeah.
Rumble, but in that quick time, again, I'm sure it's not just the labrum. There has to be some ligament damage in there.
yeah.
Although I'm not a doctor, I did not sleep in a Holiday Inn Select last night. Those ligaments generally get injured with the labrum because they
Yeah.
support the labrum. Obviously, he can come in at any time. What would be the next pay-per-view after Rumble in January? What's the next one after that?
Elimination Chamber in Australia.
Possible. I mean, I think they'd probably want him to debut here in the States somewhere, but it all depends if that scenario.
I still think he re-signed with AEW, so I don't even think it's a real thing to
Yeah.
think about. But
it's fodder.
You
isn't
never
it?
know.
You never know. It's
after
fodder to
CM
talk
Punk,
about.
I
Anything.
have no idea because I swear on everything I didn't think that was ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
They even put the end of the show crawl up in the corner, thinking they were going off the
That
air.
was Triple H's idea. That was good.
Oh, absolutely.
That was good.
This was 3 months ago. MJF has not signed a new contract or extension with AEW. His contract, as of right now, is to expire January the 1st.
Said that was 3 months ago.
Yeah, September.
But wasn't it
1 week on Thoughts Count Anywhere? We were talking about how he quietly re-signed with AEW.
So there you have it.
Would you send him the link later on to that show?
I swear to God, he doesn't pay attention to this show.
I don't either.
Well, you
We
would
know.
expect that from. Yeah, that's obvious. All right, we have about 6 minutes left.
I'm gonna start posting our show notes on Wikipedia, so maybe he'll catch on.
And not to me, he made the comment.
I know how to do it too. Watch.
Britt Baker
I don't
complains
care.
about lack of promo time in AEW. She posted this out on social media, complaining about lack of promo time in AEW for women
Well,
in the women's division.
You know who else said that too
Who's
this
that?
week? I read the Hardys.
The Hardys been used like shit the last.
They haven't
For them.
for 4 months. They ain't been
Right.
been used.
Well, didn't
And
Jeff have
Britt-
some issues during the initial?
Like initially, but
Right.
that was
Oh,
like a year ago.
They're frustrated with TV, but here she's talking about the women's division.
Well, but when's the last time we saw Britt on TV?
Yeah, she was like, "These person got this amount of time on like live promos. The amount of live promos I've gotten in all of 2023, 0."
You know, she's why she's not appearing is one thing, and maybe initially when Adam first got hurt, she was with him after the initial surgery and stuff.
You want my honest opinion?
But if she's in the back, ready to go, and they're not using her, and she was your initial face of the company, right when you first launch, why would she not be used on anything? Period.
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
It's called Saraya. And Saraya came in and Saraya took over, and she's got her 2 or 3 little cronies that are on TV every week in the women's matches, and you don't see the other ones. They're all backstage.
Well, has her return to AEW been
Who?
Saraya?
She needs to go away. Her plastic surgery's terrible.
Of all of the WWE signees that went to AEW, okay, has other than Daniel Bryan in this, because it was it was the roof blew off, and unfortunately Adam Cole made his introduction that same night, and didn't get the pop that I think we all expected, and I think because Bryan coming out took a lot of it away. Whose impact on joining AEW has really done anything?
Claudio Castagnoli.
It hasn't made that big of an impact. I'd say Jericho, Moxley, and
But they were there from
Bryan
the beginning.
Danielson.
Danielson wasn't, but Moxley and Jericho were there from the beginning, right? But
Pretty
since
close,
that time,
yeah.
let's say the last 2 years, whoever's shown up, that even you can throw in Edge, Adam Copeland. I mean, has hit initially blew off the roof.
Yeah.
The thing that they did with him and Christian the other night was terrific. overall, are you happy with his start in AEW? Copeland, I'm talking about.
I
love him.
I like him anywhere.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I like Claudio too.
Oh, I do too, but I haven't seen him much.
He's been there
On
He
AEW?
ju- he just wrestled the other night.
On Dynamite, because he also
He was on TV.
Was he on Collision or was he on the other
I
show?
forget.
The other
He
12
was
shows?
on- I think it was
Rampage.
Oh,
He-
it was Rampage?
he was on one of them.
Okay, so that's the Friday night show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, but he should be on the Wednesday show. He's to me, Rampage
Well,
and
call Tony Khan's ass up. And
hey,
tell him.
Tony, yo, Tony.
You got a platform. Tell him right there.
I just said it. I'd like to see him on the bigger stage.
There
Same
you
thing with
go.
Miro. Is Miro on Fridays or Saturdays now?
It's on Saturday.
Saturdays.
It's not even worse than Friday.
Miro's an ROH guy. Miro is an ROH guy.
Is he performing often on there?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, he's another guy.
And because what's CJ Perry?
Mm-hmm.
That's his wife. She's on there.
Yeah, Lana, I saw her
She's
return.
managing LEOL.
Didn't we see that storyline before they left WWE where she's managing somebody else,
Yeah.
getting married to
well,
somebody? You know,
yeah.
so it's like you talked about before with Punk's comment. It was the retread. You know. So anyway, all right, we have about 2 minutes left before John starts throwing stuff at
Pre-sale
us.
AEW has already sold 40,000 tickets for the Lent. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
That's going to be a big show then.
Hopefully, for their standpoint. First of all, Ronald, thank you very much for your early happy Hanukkah wishes. Hanukkah, the first night is next Thursday. So by the time we come on the air next week, Hanukkah will be in day 2, but the third light?
Is that the one you got to be home by dark?
No, that's the Sabbath every Friday, but I don't observe
See,
that.
you know what I'm
But
saying.
you thought it was Hanukkah. It's not Hanukkah. It's the regular Sabbath.
All right. Well,
But you were close.
I'm-
Both have candles in them.
I'm getting educated.
All right, educated.
Yeah.
I saw something today. One other, we should start
That's pretty
planning,
good.
perhaps discussing what did we call them? So what was the award name we gave our TCA winners when we started doing top stuff a couple of years ago?
Oh.
Well, we'll come back with the name, but I think for our last show of the year, we should probably talk about who we would deem top this, top that,
Yeah.
top rookies, or whatever, and have some fun with that as our final show.
In wrestling?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, in pro wrestling.
Oh, okay.
No, in the daytime soap operas.
I could do that too.
I was going to
home.
say, you give him better credit. I was going to say tiddlywinks. But yeah, maybe over the
Okay.
next couple of weeks. Now, with a programming note, we're going to talk about this off the air. But of course, Christmas is a Sunday, which makes New Year's Eve a Sunday. In the past, last year, we ended up going dark the last 2 weeks of the year because of the holidays. Everybody's planning. People out there planning to be away. There's a possibility, depending upon the consensus, we're going to discuss whether we're going to do shows, rerun shows, maybe pre-record shows to run, or come on there. I know Chief's not going to be available for those couple of weeks, but it's just note in pencil, follow along with us as to what our plans are going to be towards the end of the year. But certainly, I'd love to do the top awards over the next couple of weeks, whatever the last show date is.
Yeah.
Yes. Lastly,
Please.
Logan Paul announced that there's going to be a tournament for his, see who's going to become the #1 contender. You have Santos Escobar. I tried making one. The tournament
That was 4.
but it's better than 3. Santos Escobar taking on Dragon Lee. Bobby Lashley taking on Mr. Karrion Kross. Those 2 matches have been announced. Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, Kevin Owens, and some other NXT call-up will be added to that tournament to see who will become the #1 contender. Jennifer, you're going to be in town for Christmas and New Year's. Excellent. We'll get together. We'll have to see what we can do. All right. With that, we got to say goodbye in 6 minutes, 6 seconds.
So who? Oh, never mind.
All right.
Go.
Final thoughts. I have to watch the clocks. He's yelling at me.
Everybody have a good, safe week. Stay warm out there. Stay safe. Don't add to the population and don't subtract from the population. Don't end up in jail or the hospital. Have a good week.
There you go. All right. Interesting. Go ahead, Mr. Chief.
Everybody, use your common sense, please. Please be safe. Please don't be stupid, especially driving a 7,000-pound vehicle. Until next week, the Chief over and out.
All right. Be sure to join me in 1 hour in Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I have Bobby Beverly coming on. She is a health guru talking about her product and what she does to help people feel good. And then Madison will be joining us, entertainer extraordinaire, singer. She'll do 2 songs live here in studio. She's come a long way, and it's just landed a residency, so we'll announce that as well. Thank you for watching, everybody. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate. You know what? You should all just celebrate each other no matter what. Be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. See you next time right here on Thoughts Count Anywhere.
CM Punk's